Hi all, hope you're doing well. This channel recently hit a milestone. We have now surpassed 5,000 subscribers, and I am just overfilled with love and appreciation for the community that has come to this channel. You've all been so positive, warm, and encouraging, and it's really been an honor to be able to share my journey into this fountain pen hobby with you. And as a token of my appreciation, I do want to do a little bit of a giveaway. More information on that giveaway in just a moment. But what's in front of us today on the desk is why we're really here, which is the love of pens. And here I have a set of fountain pens made by Asvine. Asvine is a fountain pen company coming from China that has been making some big waves over the last couple of years. They make extremely high quality products for a very reasonable price. Here is the Asvine P20. This one is made out of a turned acrylic and it uses a piston filling system. Next up, I have the V126, which is a vacuum filling fountain pen that's made out of injection molded plastic. It's stylized pretty similarly to the Pilot Custom 823, but unlike that model, it's available in a huge variety of colors and it's available at a much more reasonable price. Next up, I have another vacuum filling fountain pen by Asvine. This is the V200. I have it here in a clear acrylic with anodized titanium accents that look like a rainbow. And to round things off, I have the J16. This model came out earlier this year. It's been extremely highly reviewed on YouTube. Many YouTubers have called it the pen of the year already in 2025. It is stylized pretty similarly to the Montblanc 146, a classic cigar-shaped fountain pen. This one is made out of titanium and it is a piston filler. And Asvine recently reached out to me to see if I wanted to review another one of their products, but this one is not a fountain pen. They've actually branched out into fountain pen accessories. And here I have their leather case. This is the larger of the sizes that's available. It's capable of holding up to 10 fountain pens, but it's actually a pretty reasonable size. Here, for comparisons, is my tried and true 3-pen case. You can see width-wise, it's just about twice the size, but the thickness is very comparable. And this one is only able to hold 3 pens, whereas this one can hold up to 10. So I am going to give away this fountain pen case to one of the lucky fans on this channel. In order to win it, you need to be a subscriber and comment below. I want to know what's your favorite current fountain pen and why. In 1 week after posting this video, I will pick a winner who will then need to reach out to me over Instagram in order to exchange information so I can send you this case for free. The materials are very high quality. The stitching seems like it should last for a long time. And the zipper is very robust. Seems like it should be very durable. Before I open up this case, I do want to let you know there are some new fountain pens in here that I have not yet reviewed. So this video is also going to be a bit of a sneak peek for what to expect in the coming weeks. If I open it up, this one side is fairly bare, which is okay. It'll give you an idea of the design of the case. It has a really nice suede flap separating the two layers, and the pens are secured in this oversized pen loop, which is great. It securely holds the pens in place and also separates them so they won't bang up against each other. Plus, because it is so wide, the clip will not hit the pen body, so you're not dealing with any chattering that may also mar the finish of your pen. On this side of the pen case, I do have 2 fountain pens. Well, I guess 1 fountain pen, I should say. This first one is a dip pen. It is made by Idea Plus. It has a bullet-shaped nib, which provides some line variation, and a wooden grip section that is very comfortable to use. Although I will note I don't have all positive things to say about this dip pen already. There has already been some staining just there from the bit of use that I've had. I'm going to pull in some paper so you can see this one in action. This is Monteverde Blueberry Muffin, which is a fun purple ink. And I'm going to just demonstrate for you what it's able to do. So again, this is the Idea Plus. dip pen. And holding it at a normal writing angle, you get a fairly consistent line. You can see there is a bit of line variation as you write, but then if I hold it at a more extreme angle, it all of a sudden becomes much more broad. And if I hold it flat, it's basically a paintbrush. So it's a pretty fun pen to use. It's a great tool, especially for ink swatching. And that's probably what I will feature it in when I do the full review of this pen. Sorry, I wanted to rinse it out real fast. In terms of how this dip pen fits into the case, it slides into the loop very easily and very securely, even though it doesn't have a clip. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall out. It does take a bit of pressure to push out of that pen loop, which is great to see. Next, I have another fountain pen, which is pretty new on the market. This is the Jinhao 10. It's available in a huge variety of colors, a retractable fountain pen that's stylized similar to the Vanishing Point. I have it here in a striped gray finish. The clip is comfortable. Personally, I do miss the pinch that you have on the Pilot Vanishing Point, but I appreciate that they did try to venture a little bit away from that design, so it's not a full-on copy. The clicking mechanism works great. I have it here in a fine nib, and as other reviewers have noted, it's actually a very smooth nib. I really enjoy using this. So again, this is a Jinhao 10. Let me go ahead and close that one up. In terms of how it fits on this pen case, it slides in very easily, and the clip does a great job securing it inside this pen loop. One thing to note, and this is not specific to this particular case, but pretty much any case that uses a pen loop, when you're pushing this pen out, make sure you're not pushing from the knocking mechanism. You have to push from the sides. Otherwise, you're just going to extend and retract that nib. So that's this one side of the pen case. Our next group is on the other side of this flap, and it is much more filled up. Let me go ahead and start with this one. You may have a bit of deja vu seeing this model. This is not the Lamy 59. This is actually the Lamy 50, which predated that model. Like the Lamy 59, this is stylized very similarly to the modern CP1. This one is actually Cold War era. Let me see if I can find the engraving on it. Here it goes. So you can see, it's a little bit tricky to see, Lamy 50, West Germany. And I picked this one up because of this nib. This is not your standard Lamy nib. This is actually a 14 karat gold nib and has a huge amount of tippy material on it. I don't know what exactly it is designated as, either a double, triple broad, or simply a stub. But this is a fantastic nib that's extremely smooth, and I'll demonstrate that for you right now. So again, this is a Lamy 50. In terms of how it fits in the pen case, it's very thin. The clip is a spring-loaded clip, so it has no problem going over these pen loops. And it feels very secure, even though it has a lot of space inside that pen loop. Next is another flashback for this channel. It is the Wingsung 630, but this one I have with flat tops. And that's one of the recommendations that I had when I looked at the original 630. The other recommendation was to come out with more transparent models, which they also have. But honestly, when I look at those, they don't quite fit my fancy, so I decided to go for this one. Again, it's kind of an oversized fountain pen, has a really beautiful large stainless steel number 8 size nib, and it writes beautifully. It still has the flex, although I'll be careful not to push it. When I reviewed this one originally, I ended up springing the nib a little bit on camera. That was my own mistake, but it is a really fun pen to use. In terms of how it fits in this pen case, it's a little bit more of a snug fit, but you can push it over that pen loop. And then I have a much more compact fountain pen. This one is made by Pilot. It's a vintage model that's called the Volex. It's kind of the cousin to the Mew. It's made out of aluminum with a nice matte coating. Actually, it reminds me a bit of the Dakota fountain pen, which recently came out. It comes off just like that and posts to become a full-size fountain pen. Unlike the Mew, this one does have a separate nib, but it is also a stainless steel nib, and this one is a fine. And again, that's a Pilot Volex. Really nice, smooth writer. In terms of how it fits on this case, this one is a little bit tricky. If you look, the clip is very low profile, so it can be a little bit challenging to get over the pen loop. I'll show you that it doesn't really want to just slide on its own, so I end up taking it with my thumbnail and pulling it up, pushing it in. These next two pens are really special. They're both from Germany, and this first one is one that's been a bit of a grail pen for me for some time. It is the Pelikan M800. I have it here in a black finish. This is technically the 805, which means that it has silver accents, but this one was sold used, and it actually has a older nib. This is a two-tone nib, so this one came out of an 800 series. It is a broad, and if you look really closely, you can see that the logo for the Pelikan has two pelicans. So that means that this one is probably from the mid to late 90s. And it is a broad, writes very wet and juicy. In terms of how it fits on this case, the only thing I've noticed that's a little bit of a trouble spot is this dramatic step up to the barrel. It's not chamfered at all, so it does take a little bit of extra effort, but it's not too bad. And then one other pen to round things off. This is one from Montblanc. And this is, again, another grail pen that I've searched for. This is the 146. And it is the more modern version of it, which means it has a beautiful two-tone 14 karat gold nib. The nib is not marked. I also bought this one used, but from what I can find online, I believe it is a medium nib. And it is a fantastic writer as well, extremely smooth. Doesn't quite have the character lines of the Pelikan M805. Again, that one was in a broad, so it's a little bit more of like a stub characteristic, but it's extremely wet and a great writer. Super comfortable in the hand. In terms of how it fits in this pen case, slides in, and it does have a chamfered edge on the cap, so it slides in very easily. No real issue there. And you can see that they are all separated very nicely, even though this is quite full. Before we close things off, I do want to show a few outliers in terms of fountain pen sizes. First, I have the Kaweco Lilliput. It's extremely compact, very thin fountain pen, and it does not have a clip. So I thought it might be a little bit of a challenge for this case, but it actually fits in there pretty well. It's maybe a little bit loose. I have found that the inner sleeves are a bit tighter than the outer sleeves. So I think you could certainly get away with using this pen in here, although I personally might be a little bit hesitant, especially if you expect some jostling. We're gonna go up a size with our next pen. This is the Pelikan M800. Has that gorgeous nib. Again, this is, as I mentioned in the review, my favorite nib that I've used so far. It's a very thick pen, but it actually slides in pretty well. I have found on some of the more interior sleeves, again, which are a little bit thinner, that it can be a little more challenging, but it fits okay. No real issues. And then one more pen. This is the Jinhao 9019. And to date, this is the thickest pen that's in my collection. It does have a bit of a chamfered edge, which may help with going over these pen loops. Let's see. It's getting very tight. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable pushing that any further. And that's one of the outer pen sleeves. So I think that's pretty much the limit for this pen case. I would not try to stick a 9019 into here. But overall, I am very impressed with this pen case. The build quality and materials are all top notch, and it's great to see Asvine branch out into other product lines. So again, if you want to win this case, leave a comment below about what your favorite current fountain pen is and why. In a week after posting this video, I will select a winner and I'll post that on my YouTube channel. Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you that have supported this channel, and I just want to say thank you for watching.